You see, when it comes to a wife and a side chick, there's no woman that's winning there.
Yes.
It's only the man that's winning.
Yes, absolutely.
But he also doesn't win for long. He's winning a booby prize because his estates are always a mess.
Yeah.
It is a problem in DT Mabuza's estate because Mnisi has gone and gotten the death certificate, which is allowed.
Yes.
However, his daughter
from
a previous marriage, a 1999 marriage,
Yeah.
where wakho kilobola nalapho, and the daughter was born in 2000, is now saying this Mnisi spouse, the latest one, A, she can't get a death certificate after date of death, but she can, as I just explained why.
Yes.
But then she says, B, she also her marriage can't be recognized because my mother's customary marriage was never divorced. And that's the mistake also people think. They think you can get away from a customary marriage by just A, walking away or deciding we're not together anymore or maybe giving back the lobola. But that's not how. You can only end a customary marriage through divorce.
And that's where you start to realize where culture has failed.
Yes.
It look at you this blind eye that we don't see the truth.
Yeah.
That's where the truth comes. You can see or your last born, he's very unreliable.
Yes.
And your firstborn daughter, she's the one who is capable.
Struggle with lust is going to come
Of course.
and claim your estate.
Yes.
Your childhood trauma is going to come and claim your estate.
Yeah.
And forget creditors. When everyone is done, including the spiritual mess you've gotten yourself into by sleeping with people you shouldn't be sleeping with,
Yeah.
then your children will inherit what's left.
And it can be chaos.
Here I am thinking, or my children will just go straight and inherit.
Get my house.
Get my house. Get my
house.
And a classic case is what we are looking at right now with the late former deputy president. Hi, and welcome back to the Legacy Collective with Khanyisa. This is a platform where we speak about, heal from, and transform our legacies. Legacies that have been passed down to us, legacies that we are living out to leave to the next generation. And today I'm joined by Zola Mbatha, an attorney and a fudiciary expert who's passionate about Black families and estate planning. And I'm also joined by Mma Letsoalo, who is a blended family coach who's also passionate about building Black families. And our conversation today is going to shock you. Ladies, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. I'm so excited about this conversation. I think we've been talking a lot of and just realizing kuningi.
A lot.
Kuningi. But most importantly for me, the conversation we're having today is at the basis of why this platform exists in the first place. People have been saying, why are you talking about healing when it comes to legacy? Why are we not talking about wills and testaments and all of those things? Because e-legacy is attached to the money in an end. And my answer has always been that legacy is what you live out in your lifetime to live once you die. Yeah. So it's not what you live after you are dead. It's what you've lived out throughout your lifetime. And that is not just in monetary value. It's more than just money. It's more than just assets. It's also the traumas, the family secrets, the things, the choices that we get to make. And we're going to go into that.
Yeah.
And I just want us to start here. Estate planning is it's something that we never ever talk about. It involves conversations that happen in boardrooms and lawyers' offices, but never in our homes, never between parents and children, because it's attached to, I don't know, taboos, death, and etc.
Right.
Where does that come from? Why is estate planning such a taboo subject to talk about, especially inside families?
Yeah. Especially taking into consideration how important it is.
Yeah.
Right. So firstly, thank you so much for having me here as a guest. Feeling grateful to be here. And I'm very excited about sharing basically my thought process about the law and combining it with people, the lay person's understanding of the law. Now, why do Black people fear estate planning? I would think from the top of my mind is two main reasons. Number one, because they feel they don't have money. Yes. It's embarrassing to talk and plan for money when you don't have it. It's like you're dreaming. Yeah. And that's the first. The second, it is a taboo subject.
Yeah.
It is really is, because we actually have to talk about death and plan for it. And I think what people fail to understand is, in the same way we have these multiple baby showers because we're planning for the arrival of a baby. I mean, I'm not saying we should have death showers. I assume that's the funeral. But we have to plan for death in the same way we plan for a baby that's coming, because the financial impact is the same, and as well as the spiritual impact.
Yes.
There's a gain and then there's a loss. In fact, I think as we grew up, we've started to see that every time there's a new pregnancy in the family, there's an older member that passes away. It's almost linked. It's a cycle. So it is as important as planning for the new baby that's arriving. And so when I was doing those articles, the person who's taught me majority of what I know about estates, his name is Walter Namaokwe, and he's the head of the master's office in Polokwane, and he was fixing the master's office in Joburg as a acting head. I went to him, I asked him, Walter, in all the estates I'm administering, the white estates, everyone has a will. In the Indian estates, everyone has a will. But when it comes to colored estates, and more importantly, black estates, because there are a large number of my book, that's why I was hired by a law firm to predominantly focus on black estates. But that's a, political conversation for another day. There are no wills. All black estates in my book are interstate.
Sure.
And so why? Why are black people not doing wills? I ask him. He says, Zola, black men who are the holders of black estates and assets think that as soon as they do a will, whoever they've put in that will, all of a sudden is going to make sure they are rosemary Ndlovu. All of a sudden, we can laugh about it, but it's true. Because Rosemary Ndlovu actually exists. Of course, she doesn't exist because of a will. She just got life covers on people and then killed them. But the thing is, that's what these people fear. And so I then say, and I put it out there to men, that you can't buy time by not doing a will. It's impossible. If it's your time, it's your time. All you're doing is you're ensuring that your estate will be interstate when you die. Do your will, hide it. If you're dealing with someone likes ditlhare, then fine, hide your will. But don't not do a will because you're prejudicing your children who don't have those ditlares that you are scared of. So, and that's the people need to change their mindsets about wills, about estates. And then another thing, lastly, I always do in my videos that I do, I always say, have a family meeting. That's one of the main reasons I sat down with Penwell and Nhlanhla Lux, because I wanted to show people our age that even as siblings, if your parents are too scared of talking about estates, even as siblings, you can sit together and solve your family's problems as siblings in your 30s because you're professionals and you have money. Don't just go, our parents don't believe in sitting and talking. Then you also inherit that bad communication skill. It's very important to sit down as a family and talk about it.
It sounds easy. It sounds easy, especially if you're saying we're in our 30s and we've got money. It doesn't always happen that way. You've got one brother in the family or one sister in the family who is probably going to be the one that gets to stay in the family home. We are all really just not bothered about what happens to the home after the fact. And then that conversation might sound like we are trying to take a jab on this one who doesn't have anything. But I want to come to you, Mma Letsoalo, that even worse, if in this family that she's talking about and the conversations that need to be had, there are children that belong to different parents in that family. So if I'm a firstborn of my mother and I'm not fathered by the father that's here, and I want to initiate a conversation around our father's assets, we already have a problem.
Around the stepfather's assets.
We already have a problem. That whole we have money and we are in falls away.
Of course. Like she's saying, we need to better our communication and start to be comfortable with the truth as a black community. I think we are just so scared of the truth and addressing things as they are. So when it comes to blended family, of course, what more a child who is biologically yours is scared to ask you, when you pass on, what more the one you did not give birth to? Like in my case, both me and my husband, we came with kids from previous relationship and we have 2 kids together. So it's 2 from previous and 2 together. Now that's 6 in total.
Okay, fair.
And you can imagine what will happen to the estate if it's not planned on.
Let's not imagine.
Let's make sure we plan that estate.
Let's try to paint a picture.
Sure.
For someone, it may not be 6 children for them.
Yeah.
It may just be 2. but one comes from outside and one is inside and they're blended together.
Yeah.
Or one is, because blending is when you've blended them together, right?
Sure.
Whether ka bostiki or ka solar tape, but they're blended together.
Yeah.
But there are also others that are bonded. Because there's blending, there's blending, bonding.
Yeah.
So if my father has children outside right now that I know nothing about, I'm bonded with those children by blood, and I'm bonded with them legally.
Yeah.
I'll probably know about both of them, both the blood and the legal, when he dies.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
But in this case, we are both bonded and blended.
Yeah.
So paint a picture for me of what that looks like when you've got different kids in the home. What conversation are you having?
Look, it sounds tough. I'm trying to paint the picture and chaos. I don't know if I just see chaos in my mind. Mainly because there are kids that are related to my kids that my kids are not aware of. I agree there is relative.
Yeah.
There is family that I consider. Family is not whose blood you carry, but it's who you love and who loves you back. That's blended family. And relative, we're talking of blood. And there might be those those that I know.
So what you're saying
Outside of the six.
you've got
Yes.
two that you know that fall within the six.
Of the blending.
Of the
Yes,
blending.
yes, too.
And
But
bonding.
there may be other bondings.
That you might know.
Blended with.
That you might know. And this takes us back on what we were saying off camera, Hore. There are kids that were made back in the days, Cody kitchening.
Yeah.
There are those that are made out of infidelity.
Yes.
I still say that's blended family. As long as a woman and as a husband, as long as you are in that marriage, then you are definitely in a blended family. Just you blending it differently.
Yeah.
Kabosti.
Yeah. Look,
In a social
I'm
distance.
so happy you mentioned that because I get so upset at women. So everyone who knows me knows that I love women. I'm a girl's girl.
Oh, we love you.
Yeah, no, I love you. Yeah. And so it's very rare that I'm like, oh, I don't like this about women. But when I do find it, I do call it out because a woman's love language is to say what she feels so that we can work it out until I'm comfortable to be in your space.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so that's why I'm just going to sidetrack a bit. That's why men who feel that when women are expressing their feelings too much, they're nagging, miss out on the woman's actual love.
Yeah.
Because if she has to keep the things that are frustrating her to her, then her love starts getting less.
That's true.
So I called out my sisters. I really dislike the fact that a woman will accept that a man cheated,
Yeah.
stay with him,
Yeah.
and then make it a condition to him that the reason we're staying together, I will only stay with you if you completely disregard the child you made outside of our marriage. The price of keeping that bostick marriage together is the suffering of a child who didn't even ask to be conceived. And women do it like it's normal. In fact, it seems unnormal when a woman takes an outside of a marriage child, an affair child, and brings it into her home.
Yeah. Like I always say, it's either you leave the marriage. Don't stay at a cost of an innocent child. A moment I find out, or Letsoalo has another child outside, then I still continue with this union.
Yeah.
Then making that child suffer. I'm not doing any justice. That's injustice.
Yeah.
If you are in it, come in full force. If that doesn't work with you, if you can't leave
the man.
we
so
have
he can
to
go
leave because
farther.
We have so many kids that are healing from childhood traumas.
Yes.
I hear we're still trying to heal from childhood traumas that no one took the decision.
Yeah.
No one made that step or no one decided to cut that chain.
Yeah.
Don't be that woman.
The chains of our childhood.
Don't be that woman.
I agree with you.
And as we're talking, I'm thinking to myself, sure, what would I need to heal from?
Let me drink my water.
To fully, really accept the affair with its consequences and never make anyone pay for the rest of their lives.
I would say that would have to be a purposeful marriage, like a royal marriage where really you don't have a choice. Or a polygamous one.
Yeah.
Or one where you know that and I want my kids to be billionaires and the only way they're gonna attain the status is through this marriage. So you stay, you bring them because you know there's more than enough money. And then lastly, as a woman, you really need to not love that man. Because when you love a man, infidelity and a child on top of that is a pain you don't want to suffer every day. Yeah. If it's not royal, polygamous, or billion rand worth, walk away. Save yourself. Just walk away because you never recover. Save yourself.
From yourself.
Don't walk away to punish him. He's losing me. He'll never find someone like me. No. Walk away to save yourself because every day when you wake up, and you always wake up before him, okay? Because now all of a sudden you can't sleep. And you look at him, you stop it. Just stop going through that. Nothing is worth that. No hugs, cuddles, or any other things. Yeah.
Women are going through that daily.
Yeah, they are.
We've seen it multiple times. We are seeing programs on TV that are always circling back to this situation. And I want us to go to this whole situation because you've brought it.
Yeah.
Around children outside the marriage who are mothered by what we now call side chicks.
Yes.
And wives seemingly having less and less rights. What's going on there legally?
Well, look, there's the legal parts, then there's the practical, such as life, then there's the spiritual.
So I always say there's the legal part and then there's the moja love part.
Moja love. Hey, moja love.
Like, do you want to do this the legal way, the moja love way? So
look, I can tell you this. So I did a video. I do a lot of videos. I keep mentioning videos because I started off coming into the public space with legal knowledge through TikTok.
Yeah.
So one of the first videos that went viral, and this was like maybe 3-4 years ago, was on Section 37C of the Pension Fund Act, which is what I'm going to explain to you now.
Okay.
And then this year, on the 1st of August, there's a clip of a video of a shot I took from another podcast where I'm talking about Section 37C. I'm basically saying the pain that men put women through. It's when he hides a woman. It's not just that he's hiding the infidelity, which always comes up, by the way, because men don't even know how to hide when they cheat. They're too excited.
Yep.
And the second part of it is the spiritual element. You're bringing another spirit into my bed and I don't know because you're hiding it. And then the third part of it is the financial loss. And then that's where I was saying, when he hides this woman, he's also hiding the payments he gives the side chick, right? And now the wife is sitting, relaxing, instead of setting up her own affairs, doing her own pension, thinking I'm building with my man towards this pension. It's growing, babe. I'm a schedule there too. People check charts now, which is good. You have some progress in financial behavior.
Yeah.
What is our spreadsheet saying? How much has our pension grown? And because it's so deceitful, he carries on with the facade. Oh, Standasami, we are now at 2 million.
We're building. Yeah.
Okay. So Sissy doesn't do her own pension. She's thinking, my man and I, we've got this. Meanwhile, he's hiding the payments he's sending to his 1 or 2 or more side chicks. When he dies, all rules he set for this side chick are right there in the grave with him. These side chicks are going wild. They are going wild. They're even punishing the wife. Because from the data I'm assessing, just reading people's stories and consulting with people, these side chicks are really vicious. They're not even trying to look out for themselves. They're just trying to spite her because she was the married one.
Yes.
You had him more than me. Yeah. And they go for the whole pension. And how they do that is Section 37C of the Pension Fund Act states that a pension is distributable by a board of trustees, a bunch of people who don't know you and your issues or your Ubuntu or your Africanness, sit at a table and look at the submissions. And that's where the side chicks are shining. They're coming in with these applications as dependents. They bring in this EFT, they bring in this e-wallet, they bring in the school fees he was paying for the side chick's child. They bring in, I am his dependent. And also, men are so unfair in this cheating nonsense of theirs. I'm so sorry for calling it that. Yeah. Because I'm talking about this and it really does upset me. They're so unfair about it that they when they marry, they want a quality woman.
Yeah.
I'm not calling any woman not quality. But they want a woman to be able to be independent. I guess you must bring something to the table. Yeah, well, you are now independent. So when these board of trustees are assessing, they're looking at the wife. Oh no, she's an executive. She's a senior manager. She has money. Her kids are older because they also start cheating after they make you pregnant. Yeah. So you don't have a choice but to stay. Her kids are older. let's look at the side chick. Oh, okay, this is what she does. I now can't make examples of what the other end job is because I don't want to offend ladies in their jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying? It's like, okay, she's earning 5,000 a month, or less, or not even. She just brought the face.
Her salary was the men's.
Yes, her salary was his
allowance.
e-wallets. Yes, her salary is what she's bringing to prove dependency. And her child is also younger. Because also they then have the children, these cheaters. So when they distribute the pension, these are the factors that are taken into consideration. Is it legal or factual dependency? Legal is the blood. So the children automatically fall in as legal dependents when they're minors. Or others if they majors but they don't have work. And then number 2, what means do they have? Which one has the lesser? Number 3, what is the age criteria? The younger child needs to go through primary school, high school, varsity. The wife's children are already in matric. They need to go to varsity. These trustees give the lump sum of the pension fund to the side chick and the young side chick's child. Okay, so that's what's happening. And women, and they need to stop this. I really, it's the second thing I will see. I understand times are tough. Cyril's economy, as they call it, like it's a joke. It's really a brutal thing. It is Cyril's economy. It's abusing our family. Our family members are passing away because of how broke we are, and you can't take our family members to public hospitals because they're so full. I'm suffering through that. My mom has to wait a year for the year medical aid because if we were told we take her to public hospital, with her heart, she won't make it. That's how badly it's run, and that's how long the queues are. She'll sleep on the floor. So we're waiting for a year praying she makes it so she can go into private. That's Cyril's economy. But let's move on from that. Now, I understand how bad things are financially. But to go and target a man because you can see he's a senior, you've assessed he has a pension, and you don't care about going after the pension, even if it means his wife doesn't get it after she's been married to him for almost 40 years. That's brutal. I don't even know what to call that. It's not slave queening. It's just nonsense.
No, that's a different
nonsense. It's syndicacy. That's what it is. You're targeting men because they're about to hit pension age, and they're so weak now. If only they were stronger. So that's what's going on with Section 37C. Side chicks are claiming based on the characteristics of Section 37C as I've detailed them to you. But more importantly, they are going after the wives after the men die because it's bad. It's bad hearts. It's just your AMB. That's it. That's why you come and say to me, why does it look like the wives' powers are lesser? It's just that these side chicks are brutal.
But the man has told me that the wife is evil.
To cheat with me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, she's leaving the house. She sleeps in what bedroom. She uses muti. I can't divorce her because I will
yes. But the man didn't punish his wife while he was living. So it's still an excuse.
No,
it's still an excuse. But it's still an excuse because you are not an appointed soldier. It's okay, because lendo tihlukunyezwa mfazi wayo bangene sporty. It doesn't work like that. It's an excuse. Because they're going after women. That's what they're doing. They're going after women.
Also, men will tell you what you want to hear. To get you.
And also, you will believe it because you want to feel great that was sleeping with a married man. You will look at it going, he's married.
Like, oh, no.
Okay, but his wife is cheating him badly.
And I can do a better job.
Yeah.
But, sorry, Sisine, I just want to say this because I've actually come across it. So usually I'll be saying, no, don't behave like this, whatnot. But recently I've gotten so many messages from side chicks and how they are suffering. So the latest one I got, which I think was at the beginning of this week through TikTok inbox, was a lady, and then I gave her my number because she seemed like she was really not okay. And she's crying because she dated a married man, and then when she got pregnant, he told her, don't have that child or whatever. And she insisted on having it. So the man's now punishing her. What he's done is he's relinquished all ownership of all his assets to his marriage children. Okay, number one. Number two, he has done a will exclusively excluding the side chick's child. Now, the Wills Act and testamentary rights states you are not forced to leave everyone you are related to in your will. Even if you have 10 children, you can put one child. And then thirdly, he takes care of the child while he's living as if it's a favor. He always makes it a point. I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
Because any case, if I don't do it, you're going to go to maintenance court. But that child will never see me. So she's crying, not because she's lost a man, because she knows deep down, I dated a married man. He was never mine. She's crying because her child is feeling the pain of her decisions. She'll never again date a married man, she says. But there's a child that's suffering. Okay? And men can do that. They're so cruel. They can be cruel to the wife. They can be cruel to the side chick. You see, when it comes to a wife and a side chick, there's no woman that's winning there.
Yes.
It's only the man that's winning.
Absolutely.
But he also doesn't win for long. He's winning a booby prize because his estates are always a mess. A man who cheats, his estate is always a mess because he's spreading it out there.
Always say that your children will not inherit your estate. They will inherit your choices and decisions.
Yes. Yes.
And actually, I want to phrase it again and say, actually, your children are not the ones that inherit your estate. There's a difference there. Your choices and decisions are the ones that inherit your estate. Because before they even get the estate, Osiris is going to come and say hello.
Whatever business choices and SARS
have been having a really bad relationship.
So dates,
The 30 chicks say hello, we've been having a really bad relationship with you.
Yeah.
And so
we've come
to collect
upon your
us, your choices have come to collect
100%
before your children can touch them.
100%. And we never think of that.
Yes,
100%.
Right now you think your parent is going to leave you money. No, your parent is going to leave her creditors money before they leave you.
Yeah.
Oh, can you?
Yeah. And if you want that inheritance, you must pay the creditors first from your pocket.
Yes.
Sure. Then the inheritance, they deeper than the asset, basically.
Yeah.
They
100%.
That.
Yeah. So I like that.
That's why I said when we started the conversation that for me, this conversation is important because of why this platform exists. If you're going to make decisions in private and then go write a will that is going to be read in public, that will won't really have any holding
power
against the private choices you have made.
100%.
Sure.
I actually have never summarized it like that. I've used legal terminology, paragraphs. That's a very fantastic summary of it.
Your struggle with lust is going to come,
of course,
and claim your estate.
Yes.
Your childhood trauma is going to come and claim your estate.
Yeah.
And forget creditors. When everyone is done, including the spiritual mess you've gotten yourself into by sleeping with people you shouldn't be sleeping with, then your children will inherit what's left.
And it can be chaos.
Here I am thinking, or my children will just go straight and inherit.
Get my house.
Get my house.
And a classic case is what we are looking at right now with the late former deputy president. Yeah. Tell us about that case.
So, in DD Mabuza's estate, there's a dispute currently.
Yeah.
And the dispute is summarized as follows. And all of this is based on an article, multiple articles that we've read, right?
Yeah.
Number one, DD Mabuza's death certificate states that he died unmarried. That's the first thing.
Okay.
His death certificate stated
from Home Affairs.
Okay. Stated unmarried or never married. That's the legal terminology that sits on the death certificate. Never married. Right? Okay, fine. That's the first thing. Tick. Second thing is his partner. I'm assuming it is his latest partner. Like I said, we're using an article as a source of reference. It would be more valuable if I literally sat it like a table with all of these people and gathered the data and then analyzing them like, oh, this is what the problem. But let's use the articles for now.
Yeah.
Because it is in the public space. Okay, so that's the first thing. His death certificate said he was unmarried. The second thing, his latest partner, the partner he had before death, went and got what is called a let me leave the English word, a death certificate issued after date of death.
So when you say partner, it means that they were never married?
So basically, from the set of facts in the article, number one, his death certificate said he was never married.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, I can quickly explain why it would say that.
Yes.
The Recognition of Customary Marriages Act, which is the act that's touched by this case, Didi Mabuza's matter.
Yeah.
Two acts. There's the Recognition of Customary Marriages Act, and then there's the Pension Fund Act section 37C again, what we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
Now, let's start with the Recognition of Customary Marriages. The Recognition of Customary Marriages Act does not require you to register your customary marriage at Home Affairs for it to be deemed valid.
Yeah.
You just need to be over the age of 18. You need to be 18 and older.
Okay.
You need to consent to your partner bringing the lobola letter at home. In other words, you're consenting to this customary marriage.
Yeah.
And number 3, you need to have celebrated, negotiated, and celebrated
Okay.
in terms of your culture
Yeah.
what is headed towards a marriage.
Okay.
And why I put it like that specifically is because in the Zulu culture, and I love the fact that we come from different ethnic groups, right? In my, because I want to hear what your culture is.
Yeah.
In the Zulu culture, fanele ulotsholwe,
Yeah.
fanele kuyiwe kamakoti, the makoti must be accepted as a bride. Fanele kuyiwe kamakoti with gifts. The makoti then needs to come back to the man's house and be accepted as a makoti. Inyongo itelwe, the girl of the animal. As in, you don't have to explain them in English. Inyongo itelwe, and then ukat. You just dance around, okay?
Yeah.
Only then are you the makoti of that family, the wife. However, the HP and the Lerato case.
Yeah.
So that case, though, went all the way up to the appeals court. I think it also might have ended up at the apex court, which is the constitutional court, where it was decided that, so HP's father was saying he hadn't brought her to the home. So we haven't accepted her as a makoti. He only paid lobola.
Yeah.
Okay? And the courts, all of them agreed. That's not how the recognition of customary marriages works.
Okay.
The recognition of customary marriages says, was she over the age of 18? Yes. Did she consent? Yes. Was there a celebration? Yes, when they brought the lobola. Therefore, you are married, and you are married in communal property.
Okay.
Okay? So that's what, but it does not, you see these 3 requirements I'm stating, none of them say you must go register at Home Affairs, right?
No.
And so in Didi Mabuza's estates, I assume this is what has happened. Walobola, his partner, I think her surname is Mnisi.
Okay.
Wamlobola. And this is why she has gone to go register the marriage after he has died.
This is the current.
This is now Mnisi, his partner, before he passed away. And you see, because of the lack of requirement to register a customary marriage, it has caused so much chaos that it forced Home Affairs to register marriages after date of death.
Okay.
So in South Africa, that is allowed.
Okay.
It will be changed the day the new marriage bill that I made that video about and the ladies, when that new marriage bill becomes an act, it'll be changed because that act will force you to register your customary marriage for it to be recognized.
So, but why is this a problem?
Why is it a problem in this matter?
Yeah.
It is a problem in Didi Mabuza's estate because Mnisi has gone and gotten the death certificate, which is allowed.
Yes.
However, his daughter
from
a previous marriage, a 1999 marriage,
where
wakho kilobola nalapo, and the daughter was born in 2000, is now saying this Mnisi spouse, the latest one, A, she can't get a death certificate after date of death, but she can, as I just explained why.
Yes.
But then she says, B, she also her marriage can't be recognized because my mother's customary marriage was never divorced. And that's the mistake also people think. They think you can get away from a customary marriage by just A, walking away or deciding we're not together anymore or maybe even giving back the lobola. But that's not how. You can only end a customary marriage through divorce, which is very unfair because there's no divorce clause in the Customary Marriage Act. You have to go borrow from the Divorce Act.
Yeah.
So, which is a very big proof that this act was as unthought out as the Bella Act.
Yeah.
Okay. So, just had to hit that shit. That Bella Act. So, that's the problem now. They are now all going to courts, which is very much reasonable and it has to be that way.
So, the basis of it is that Didi married another woman years and years ago,
1999.
moved on.
And married
someone else, another one. So both marriages were never registered while he's alive.
Yes.
And then this current one goes to register this marriage after he has died.
Yes, which
and
is
the
possible.
former wife comes back and says, but he never divorced me.
I was slow. I should have registered mine first. Basically, that's what she's saying. Yeah. So now the question then should be, which one is the lawful wife? So I wouldn't even pretend to start and answer that question, because only at the stage, only a court order can decide this now.
Sure.
That's how chaotic it has become.
Yeah.
However, if we interpret case law, so there's again another case that was published this year, a Johannesburg High Court case that states, unless the first wife. So basically what I then initially thought was, if he lobola the first wife and then he lobola the second one, then he says he has a polygamous marriage.
But hang on, isn't it that the first wife in any case has to consent to their polygamy?
Yes, but now that typical example, and you have I was on Kakasi FM explaining what the acts are saying about polygamous marriage, and there's a ubaba umZulu wafona wathi hey ningazofaka politics kumthetho wamaZulu, ayikho nje into ethi kuZulu kufanele umfazi oqala avume kanti kwakhiwa isibongo sakaba. But he was just being passionate and very Zulu.
Yeah.
But let's come here to Didi Mabuza.
Yeah.
Now, we are saying, okay, this man has lobola two women, therefore he's in a polygamous marriage. But the case law that was decided recently is saying, unless the man has notified his first wife and gotten some form of consent from her that she is open to being married with another woman, then the second lobolad woman marriage should not be recognized. It should not be recognized. So that's what the courts need to show us in Didi Mabuza's matter. Which, will they recognize both marriages? Will they only recognize the 1991 one because it didn't, 1999 one because it didn't divorce? Will they recognize Mnisi's one because she was the latest partner? Or recognize both? Give him because the other condition for customary marriage now, in terms of the Recognition of Customary Marriages Act 1998, is that when you enter a polygamous marriage, you have to notify it, discuss it with your first wife. The consent part is not so stringent yet. It'll be more strict in the new Marriage Act. But it does say, once you've taken on a second customary wife, you have to go get a court order regulating how your estate will be distributed when you die. And this is what we are watching happening now in Didi Mabuza's matter. We are about to see what the court is going to decide, so that other women whose men have taken wives without their consent know what to do.
You know what I'm now thinking about? So a few weeks ago, actually earlier this month, we were in KZN.
Yeah.
And we were running the Firstborn daughter healing retreat.
Yeah.
And one of the things in that room that was very vile, in my opinion, was the discussion of Firstborn daughters Bamamngani and Firstborn daughters Babamkhulu. There was pain there.
Because you were in KZN.
Because we were in KZN. We had to have the conversation about... But over and above that, there was also a conversation about themselves being in polygamous marriages. That,
yeah, of course,
I'll speak on their behalf because I was in the room. That no one consented to the fact that they really did consent to the marriage.
Yeah, but you see, that's why this is now in the hands of the judiciary, right?
Yeah.
Because it's also very easy to say I didn't consent after you consented many years ago. It's not like it's in writing. This is why the New Marriage Act is going to force it to be in writing. So the New Marriage Act, which is currently a bill, is rectifying all these discrepancies in the recognition of customary marriages, because that's where the discrepancies are.
I can imagine it's your poverty consenting.
Yeah. What we spoke about earlier.
It's your Zoyapi.
Yeah.
If I say no.
Yeah.
And it's
so
also,
then it's under duress, so it shouldn't count.
Yes.
Yeah, this can go very deep and far. Yeah.
Because if you look at it, and when I say Sbindu Yabula, Sbindu Yapilis, I want us to have a picture of even how Ubabam Seleku conducts his intervention on his show.
Yeah.
Does it ever end up with the first wife saying, "Aibo, fully come"?
In some instances, I think, what is it? What is it? I really
okay. So most of the time, if you observe, it's going to be either in body language, and the body language will either say, "Look, I'm gonna say whatever because I really can't say no."
Yeah.
Or we'll finish this at home. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it ever gets finished at home.
I actually think there are women who don't mind this taboo, guys. Like, they don't mind sharing the man, they don't mind having a second partner, and they don't even treat them badly. It's unfortunate for them that the new partner who comes in all of a sudden wants to be a main, and then they start treating them badly, and they turn around and start rejecting. But there are, I genuinely think there are women out there who actually don't mind this taboo at all. Good for them. What I want to talk about, what I want to touch on is what you said about the firstborn. So it's the firstborn daughter of the mamncane, firstborn daughter of the mamkhulu.
Yes.
But then who is the firstborn daughter of the man? Remember, in the polygamous culture, in the marriage, it's all about the man. He's the table, the chairs, the ceiling, the room that you're able to sit in. Really, and that's where my misunderstanding of polygamous marriage is. It's like, a bunch of women going to go worship some man. It doesn't make sense to me because it doesn't benefit them in any way, even legally. Or cuddles. Now you must share the cuddle. All of a sudden, you can't cuddle Monday to Friday. No, you have a specific day of cuddling.
Part-time cuddles.
Woo! Okay, asbayeke. Now, what I'm saying is, umamncane will want to give the term umafungwas in KZN, in my language. The firstborn daughter, mafungwas. Fungwi.
Okay.
Umamncane will not be comfortable with the ignorance of her first daughter as umafungwas. But really, if you're looking at it from the customs office table, she should be recognizing that thing. As black people, we really hate the truth. She should be recognizing she entered a marriage where there was already a firstborn daughter. Therefore, you can't have another firstborn daughter.
Yes. But let me come in with the experience I have and the conversations we've had on this table regarding types of firstborn daughters. So, or a firstborn in J.
Okay.
A firstborn is someone who breaks the matrix of the womb of the woman.
That's okay. And that baby has,
Whether one man has broken the matrix of 7 women, all of you are firstborns because you left your mother's womb. Uli wa matong.
Okay.
Right? That's the definition of a firstborn daughter. Or a firstborn at all.
Firstborn child,
A firstborn child. A man does not determine a firstborn. They can't.
They don't have wombs.
They don't have wombs. And that's where the matrix gets broken. And I want to come to you. You've got a firstborn daughter who you came with into the marriage. And you've got a firstborn daughter that your husband came with into the marriage. And you guys have a firstborn daughter.
Together.
Yeah.
No,
Now that even as the definition, the Noraro Mafunga
is yours.
It's mine. And also my husband's once because he first born to the mother.
But to the mother, not to him.
Not to him.
Yeah.
But to me.
To him.
No, let me help you a bit here, guys. You see, it's very important. You see, why the law is all over the place in South Africa right now is they didn't take into consideration our cultures.
Yes.
Which is that point we spoke about earlier, where what was regulating us before Roman Dutch law came, before Jan van Riebeeck landed, what was regulating us legally? Now, what you need to understand about the importance of umafungas in my culture, and I'm still waiting to hear what happens.
Because we are from the north.
Yeah, you guys are from the north, and
you are from the south.
South,
yeah.
The definition of umafungwase is for ubaba in my culture. And the reason for that is, look, Pella, at the Zulu king right now.
Yes.
And the whole issue with the monarch and how you get the crown, how you take his son.
Yes.
It is the firstborn son, right?
Yeah.
So the current Zulu king's example is fantastic, but the current Zulu king is breaking a lot of barriers, Yeah. He's marrying a woman who's had children before. Yeah. He's refusing to take virgins because he's recognizing them as his daughters. He's such an awesome setting his own path. He makes us that take our own paths feel about ourselves. So let's not use him as an example. In my example, we recognize him and appreciate and respect him.
Actually, he deserves the legacy table.
Yeah, he does.
Right?
He does.
Yeah. Because he said, this is a legacy that I got.
Yeah.
Which one am I going to live out? One of taking girls that I think should be my daughters. Because
look at when culture says. And my uncle there in Swaziland is busy doing it.
Yes. And then what we will see after his maternal or with his own children is what he would have passed down as a different legacy.
Yeah.
So
That's why.
And adding on that, Kanye, also him going out there to marry someone with kids. He's highlighting that as a woman,
Single mom.
you're still valuable.
Yes.
Your value has nothing to do with your package. I love that.
Yeah, we love the Zulu King right now.
You are the real leader.
love it.
However, in terms of succession,
Yes.
what used to happen was the firstborn son of the man would then be the guardian, would inherit the entire estate, but not to keep it for him, but he would be the guardian for every other child, right? So then that then means the firstborn son that he had. So what happens to the firstborn of the other woman that he has had, right?
Yeah.
So from a cultural perspective, the firstborn belongs to the man. But from a spiritual and a firstborn daughter and in the aspect you've just explained,
And like biology,
the first biology, obviously, firstborn belongs to the woman because the woman is the one carrying the womb. Who carries this firstborn? Because the man, no matter how much the culture puts him up there, he will never carry the firstborn.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to recognize that it actually is the woman who brings the firstborn. But recognizing something and how it plays out, unfortunately, too.
Like I said, there is legal and there's moja love.
Yeah.
You will always find it.
Moja love.
In every conversation. But let's come back to your case, because I think it is a powerful case study.
Sure.
If we had to, let's go the legal way, right, and really analyze it to say who holds the office. Is it that your husband's daughter goes to hold the firstborn daughter office in her own mother's house?
Yeah, that's...
And your daughter, because you are here and you are married, is the one that holds your family's office as the firstborn daughter?
The daughter that she had before she
got married.
But then the firstborn daughter of the husband must go back to her mother's house.
Because that's where she broke the matrix. Okay. If we're speaking office.
You're talking scenarios though.
Yeah,
because it's don't even umshado Letsoalo pale.
No.
It's a whole scenario.
Babu Letsoalo.
So this is this one that you guys made together.
Yeah.
Who can come back and say, but I'm the firstborn daughter of the marriage?
Sure.
So if you had to give someone a mentor as a firstborn daughter, hypothetically speaking, who would you give it to?
I don't want to give it to anyone.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
And I will set my marriage as an example. It's always nice not talking to someone who has walked, who has walked the journey. We don't have that kind of setup. Who's who
in the zoo.
No. You don't have who's who in the zoo. We only have that when it comes to legal things where we know that I must have trust funds, trust and don't need legally. But when it comes to blended family, I think it's quite hard to set it up like that. It's quite hard. In my case, I sit on love. I just sit on love rather than a culture.
Yeah.
Because I believe going back, I've realized that culture has failed blended families.
Blended family.
Yeah, I want to speak of blended families because I'm in it. And I've realized that back in the day, somehow in our grandmother's houses, there were kids that were not my grandfather's kids. It was never spoken about. And I've never seen their father also being part of their life. Hence, I'm saying culture has failed blended family at some point. Then I've realized now, recently, that we should hang on love.
Yeah.
We should hang on love.
I like that.
And I guess hanging on love is hanging on truth.
Definitely hanging on truth.
Hanging on truth. Because what you are saying also challenges this whole thing of birth orders. Because also, it is cultural.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, it's biological.
Yeah.
Sharp. But that whole culture, in the Zulu culture, the firstborn son is the one that
Guardian. Yeah.
guardian.
Yeah.
And then in the Pedi culture, the last born son
Yes.
is the one inherits the home.
That's the same thing that's with the family home. We'll talk about that.
Well, here's where my problem is with that. And that's why we don't have truth.
Yeah.
Your 6 children, you're raising them daily.
Yeah.
You know who they are.
Yeah.
In their hearts of hearts, you know who they are.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, Gore, Madumi
Hey.
is unforgiving.
Phela nasi siyabheka uMatumbi.
Madumi is unforgiving. And if, regardless of the birth order, Umatumi, if I leave my children's home
Yeah.
with him as guardian,
Yeah.
uzobaxosha.
Yeah.
Also, he's got funny taste in dating girls, and the likeliness is that he's going to marry someone who's going to come here and xosha my kids.
Him is the last born in your culture and the firstborn in the Zulu culture.
Yeah. And that's where you start to realize what culture has failed.
Yes.
It look at this blind eye that we don't see the truth. That's where the truth come. You can see your last born, he's very unreliable.
Yes.
And your firstborn daughter, she's the one who is capable.
Always. Like always.
She's the one who's capable. So in my blended family, my stepdaughter can be the strongest one.
Yeah.
And my biological daughter be the dead end one. You know the truth.
Yeah.
And hence I'm saying if you led by love, you will understand and you will do things in the right way because you will be able to spot that, okay, I can leave the estate under my
Stepdaughter.
under my stepdaughter. And I know for sure with how she behaves, all the kids will be safe.
Yeah. But you have to really love your family to be able to be that objective and reasonable. Yeah.
Don't get into blended family fauna lerato. That's my advice. If you don't have love, don't do it.
Yeah.
If you will be in it and thinking, no, my kids, my what, don't do it.
Sure.
Do not do it. You
We're forced into it, no?
So
many single mothers in the black
community.
And
maybe we are being very impatient.
So we can't be single forever.
I guess
so we're being impatiently with you.
But I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah.
Also with yourself. I think you as a single woman, you're just being impatient with yourself. Then you find yourself or we still have evil stepmothers because you were not ready, you were not prepared, and you were too desperate.
Yeah.
You find evil stepdad because you were not in good space.
Yeah.
As I am a firstborn.
Yeah.
And then now if I haven't healed from all this journey, my childhood and stuff, you know, the responsibilities that comes with being a firstborn child. And now here you are parenting a child that's
not yours.
biologically not yours.
Yeah.
Imagine. So you are dealing with 4. You're a stepdaughter with 3. I mean, you're a firstborn daughter
With three
firstborn daughters.
Yeah.
So wait, do you only have daughters?
No, I've got 3 boys, 3 girls.
Oh my goodness. What a beautiful split.
Yeah, it is.
And I guess we are probably biased to the firstborn daughter. One, because of the work we do on this platform with firstborn daughters and the experience we have. We are all firstborn daughters.
Yeah.
The experience we have. But I think it also applies to sons as well.
Yeah. Firstborn
does.
child. Yeah. Firstborn child.
Yeah.
Sure.
It does, but I think with sons, I think we're speaking of a different thing. Firstborn daughter, it has this motherhood thing
That comes with it.
comes with it.
Yeah.
I don't dismiss the firstborn son,
Naturally.
Yeah.
but I think the firstborn girls,
Yeah.
they carrying much more weight than the boys would do.
True.
Tlhokomela bana ba gaeno, do this.
You know, when you're saying that, those words that you're saying right now, women scream their lungs out in our sessions. When those words are said and they have their eyes closed
Oh no.
and they're taken into a place of remembrance of when those words were said and who said them and what they needed when those words were said. It's painful.
Very
It's painful.
because you were forced to grow.
And I always say when dealing with firstborn daughters, Jorge, the reason why this work is so important is not just about you and me as firstborn daughters. Our pain filters through generations, filters through people around us. Because guess what? When my mother has said, where are you going without him? Where were you looking when he fell? You finished school. Did he eat? Right? Fast forward, he gets married. Fast forward, I am a Rakhadi who's a witch. Why? Because I lack boundaries. I mean, come on, I've learned to be boundaryless and protective when I was 5 years old because I had to choose a jockey for him.
Yes.
I had to make sure he doesn't fall. And now my whole system says the wife he chooses, if he falls, it's my fault. So I must police what happens in that marriage.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yeah, that's one.
Sure.
Two, I never got a thank you or a I'm sorry when I was blamed for the falling and it wasn't my fault. And so I might pour out that poison onto the wife, who doesn't even know that now with my first
You are
salary,
a firstborn.
my first salary, I had to sacrifice and buy the jockey for someone who's not my child. I'm still looking for the thank you and the I'm sorry. And I'm going to filter that. When they say, "Borakgadi ke baloi," that's where it comes from.
That's what. That's what's
It's the
going
ones
on.
that are never spoken about, that are never really dealt with.
So Rakgadi Tsena all over. Rakgadi, why is she involved in?
Because I've been involved in 5
She has
years.
been like that.
Abo rakgadi badinga ukukhila, guys. Abo rakgadi don't mind ending a relationship.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. I want us to talk about Leo, that most, let's not blanket it as firstborn daughters.
Sure.
Let's say most women that leave their father's home to go get married and then they come back.
Oh,
There's this pandemic.
return soldier.
Return soldier. When they come back with anger and failure, sometimes it's disguised as them coming to rebuild. But yeah, man.
Bayamosha sis.
Yeah.
I Bayamosha shame. I mean, I know that one story. It also went viral. I told about Umkulu, that went and his daughter. Yeah, his daughter came back from marriage. Umkulu's trying to be comforting and helpful to his child, trusting her, and then she went and stole the property from him by, buying it from him. But then she put her banking details, and took the money. So she took the house and the money, and then she lost her job, and then they lost the home, and then Umkulu was crying that manje sengizoshonela emqashweni mntanami. And for a Zulu man, that is horrible because umsamo wami ihlahla lami lizobekwaphi.
Yes.
And so they are vicious. And unfortunately, inja wild. If it's in your yard, izoluma who is in the yard.
Ever.
So they hurt their family because they can't go be vicious to their ex. Their ex has seen their toxic behavior
kicked them
and
out.
cut them off. They literally cut them off. Even communication, they blue tick them.
Yeah.
And so they can only take this frustration out on whoever is close.
Yeah.
But that's what happens with our firstborn daughters or return soldiers, Jay, whether
soldiers.
they whatever in the space. But then what I also find is, how we spoke about in our cultures, it's the last born that gets, and then in your culture and my culture, it's the firstborn.
Yeah.
There's an article that was written in the Daily Maverick. It's just that I keep forgetting to look at the author, but I do know that he's in the legal field and he's a white male in his senior years. So, and I mentioned that because I'm grateful to him for writing the article.
Okay.
Because it basically authenticates what basically I've been saying.
Yeah.
I mean, when I started off on television, it was with Newsroom Africa.
Yes.
Talking about the family home case that was decided last year, November.
Yeah.
In this family home, there's the firstborn daughter.
Firstborn daughter.
Yeah, there's the firstborn daughter in the family home.
Yeah.
In this family home, in this case, it's called the Nomthandazo Dlamini versus Sylvia Dlamini case.
Yes.
Sylvia Dlamini is the firstborn.
Yes.
She is the daughter of a man who was a firstborn.
Yeah.
And he got the house
Yes.
because he was a firstborn. And everything was going okay. You know why? Because when he got the house, and also this is just based on the article also. Nice. But I'm just from based on the calls and the data I've seen, this is probably how I see it playing out for it to end up in court.
Yes.
So when it was the father, there was no court case.
Yes.
Seemingly then everything was okay.
Yeah.
He understood he got the house, the family home based on guardianship.
Yeah.
He must
Right.
watch it for the family.
Yeah.
What the father did, which is what I'm always preaching on, do your wills, do your wills, do your wills. Right now, we just, it's been a long September with free wills month.
Yes.
Now, the father did the will, which is great, right? Because we're saying people must do wills. What the father did was, which is also great, he left his estate to his child,
Yeah.
Yes.
his firstborn daughter. Now, part of that
The
estate.
house, that's not his role.
No, but he left his estate. Remember, his estate is not only the family home.
Okay.
He has bank accounts. He has a car. He left his entire estate to his child. What he failed to do in the will, and that's what I always preach. I always say, do your wills, but don't blindly go do wills. Don't buy a will at CNA.
Sure.
That was written by a person who doesn't know your circumstances and you just fill in your details and sign.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. A will needs an estate planning consultation.
Sure.
So you understand what are your assets, what are your liabilities, what are the risks against your estate, how can you prevent or mitigate, minimize the risk, what controls can you put in place, and that's what you do in a will.
Yeah.
Now, this man, what he failed to do, from now that we're looking at the fact that there's been court cases, his whole family ended up in court, was to say, I give my entire estate to my firstborn daughter, excluding the family home. The family home, I wanted to go to all Dlamini family members, stemming from my father. That's what I would have, as if I was his attorney, his estate planning attorney, advised them, because I would have foreseen that it's gonna end up in court. Now, it ended up in court because Nomtanda, Sylvia now, upon inheriting this family home along with her dad's estate, evicted everyone.
Yeah.
Now, everyone led by Nomtandas went to court and said, but this is our grandfather's house as well.
Yeah.
And then the court then issued what is called a milestone case in South Africa, where for the first time since 1994, the recognition of a family home exists.
Yeah.
It's not in legislation. It's not in the Deeds Registry Act. It's almost as if the law or the government doesn't know that black people are living in these 4-room houses that are family homes.
Yes.
And that's the biggest problem that I have assessed in South Africa right now for the black community. Outside of all the other, matters, of course, lack of access to, health assistance because of the influx and in education, the public education is a bit too harsh on our kids. So now we're forced to take our kids to private school. So we are living in debt now. We're forced to put our mothers on medical aid. We're forced to take our children to public school. We're forced to pay water and electricity at high rates because there's so many millions of people who are using it for free.
Yes.
Those are hectic problems that people in the communities are facing. One of the major ones is these fights over these family homes. I literally and I always say this. We as black people in the communities, we haven't been blessed with generational wealth.
No,
We've
we
been
haven't.
blessed with generational fighting. We're fighting over family homes.
And speaking of generational wealth, I'm now thinking, I get the concept of a family home, yagamkulu, right?
Yeah.
I get that. But my father has built a house, right? Where I come from, I have siblings and a father who has built a house.
Yeah.
I may not have a care in the world because I've got my own house. Maybe I'll have a care when I'm a return soldier, God forbid.
God forbid, touch wood. No return soldiering.
But right now, I really could not be bothered. Is that a family home?
So I love that you asked me that, because then that's what's important for people to understand. From a root cause analysis. A family home are the 4-room houses given to black people by the apartheid government. When Malan decided Group Areas Act, we don't want black people to live in land that can produce grass and trees. And I always say like that, people like, why do you keep putting in the grass and trees? Because it was so intentional right down to the health of the land where you put in these people. Go put them in dusty areas and then say, August is dusty. Meanwhile, August is not dusty. August is just windy. It depends where you live.
Exactly. Actually.
And we call it that because we're living in grassless lands. And so those houses, those 4-room houses were regulated by a permit. Because the apartheid government gave them 4-room houses, but they don't have ownership rights. A black person can't own land or property in South Africa. And then when it was 94 and the Black Property Act or something along those lines, then it came into place, then black people could own. Only then did they convert to title deeds. And that was done so carelessly that they had to follow the permits. The problem with the permit is if you were visiting me and my family during apartheid, I had to put you on the permit, because if they do a night raid and you're sleeping there, and you're not on the permit, you're going to jail. So if you're following the permit, because that's what unfortunately the case says, let's revert to customary law. What is this customary law? Because on the permit, who is on the permits? Did we authenticate? Number one. Number two, the other issued permit is it's a handwritten document with a signature from a municipal office. People have subsequently forged the hell out of permits.
Yeah. Out of survival.
Since then.
Out of survival. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So what is the root document we're using to convert to title deed?
Yeah, sure.
So it then became nomination by the grandfather, which is how Sylvia's father then got the title deed, right? So from the beginning, it was not regulated. Now it's even worse because according to this article, the Daily Maverick article, he's basically simply saying the following. Black people's estates were distributed in terms of an act called the Black Administration Act. In other words, an act specifically for estates for Black people.
Okay.
And that act would then go with our culture. It said the firstborn son in the Nguni, predominantly Nguni cultures, the lastborn son in the northern Sotho and Sotho cultures.
Yes.
Now, in the case is called, so this article is talking about these two acts, the Black Administration Act versus Interstate Succession Act, which is the act that distributes Black people's estates today. It distributes everyone's estate in the country. It doesn't care or matter what the race is. Now, the case here that brought these two acts against each other is called the Bear versus Khayelitsha. Okay. In this case, and this is what's written in the article. In this case, there were 11 justices, so it had gone up to the apex court, which is the constitutional court. And then, so the full bench was sitting. So there were 11 justices. Out of the 11, there was only one who said, let's not administer Black estates with interstate succession because of the fact that these people have family homes. They don't have inherited wealth. They have basically one asset, which is the family home. And interstate succession says the following. If you die without a last will and testament, your wife gets part of your estate, your wife and children, 50% to your wife if you are married in communal property, or 250,000 if you were out. But obviously, Black people were not getting married out, so they are in. So 50% goes to your wife, and then the other is to be shared. Some of it will still go to your wife, and another will go to your children. That's what it says. It says there are 5 people inheriting: your wife, your children, your parents if you don't have these two, your parents' children, your siblings, or your nieces and your nephews if your siblings had kids and they've passed away. Now, outside of these 5, it can either go to some random aunts or it goes to the government. That's what Interstate Succession Act states. Now, this one judge was saying, don't distribute the Black people's estate using interstate because you're going to have multiple people owning one house. Let's rather follow their culture by implementing Black Administration Act. But the 10 other justices said, no, this is New South Africa. We're not dividing races here. Races are equal. All of them will be dealt with interstate unless they do a will. 11 judges had to sit because of the fact that Black men are refusing to do wills. That's what I take out of this.
Black men do better.
Do wills and better. Now, the justice that alone, obviously if you're alone and 10, you obviously don't know. So then that's how we are administering Black estates interstate, which is why you find one 4-room house with 11 people on the title deed or even 20. Varying degrees of ownership. Because remember the 5 people I've explained to you. So if Mkulu and Gogo died with kids and outside 3 firstborns and all of that, they're all coming here to share this family home. And when those firstborns and all other children are dying, their children are there to now take ownership of their share. So if each child has 10% and this child has 5 kids, the 5 children are going to divide the 10%. So you can end up with a title deed with 100 people if you have a family that breeds a lot. And how do you manage that?
That case says and others.
And others residing. Now you can't even kick anyone out. So how many people are going to be living in these 4-room houses?
Speaking of kicking out, what if I have my father's house, decide that I want to renovate, or better yet, put 2 rumunyana at the back for income, and then one of them dies between my mother and my father. What? Is an affidavit a valuable document in this case to say, I agree with my mother and my father that I'm putting in a 2-room next to their house?
So I think that's a fantastic question again because I've also again been running into a lot of those problems, you know, through look, guys, I'm unable to reach all of the inboxes. They're a bit too much. Yeah, they're in the thousands.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So when I can at 5 a.m,
because my firstborn back here move.
Yo, kwakhiwe. So sibuyile sifuna ukwenza imali. The men we were married to didn't allow us to make money.
Yes.
So in the few that I do get to, again, there's been a lot of people that have been calling me because they renovated. And I think I heard you earlier, you said something like, if we're a family and there's one family member left in the family house, we now don't want to come and ask about it because we don't want them to feel ostracized or kicked out. But the problem actually is adverse. It's actually the other way around.
Okay.
What happens is the families keep quiet about the family home while it's run down. While it's that 4-room that Verwoerd gave. They are.
And then
then you come, sis. You put her. It's now face brick. There's 2 rooms at the back. There's now a high wall. There potentially may be a swimming pool or not because we now we are free to do things. And then until Cyril's economy. And then all of a sudden, once this house is no longer a rusty, dusty 4-room, we are all woo. We are there. We want this family home to be sold and we want to share equally. It's our inheritance too. As you live in this house alone, you basically, when we look at the value of this house, it's now 1 million. And there's 5 of us. You're basically depriving us of 200,000 rand. As you sleep and wake up every morning, you are sleeping on my 200,000 rand.
What?
And this person's like, but Bafethu, when this house was valued at 100,000, you were nowhere. Now that I've renovated it and I've made it 1 million rand in value, I'm now all of a sudden sleeping on your 200,000.
So how do you protect yourself?
The fact is, in the absence of any legal agreement, that's why I said, if you're going to renovate your family home, rather enter into a legal agreement with all your family members that are due that house in terms of interstate succession to say every single cent I'm spending renovating this house. Should you guys decide to sell it one day, I will first take my appreciation value and then we will split the value that it was the day you inherited it. That's what the agreement needs to say. Because in the absence of that agreement, they're getting it. They're getting the house. They never asked you
my
to renovate.
Children that I don't know can then come in
100%
and claim my 2
room. The proceeds. And let me tell you something. You say you built that 2-room. And this I ran into last week. I love the exposure. It's just that sometimes it's a lot of it. The 2-room that you build is for you to be able to maintain yourself and your kids now that you've been kicked out of your man's house, right? So that's fair. Your father would have allowed you if he was alive. That's the basis at which you are building. Now, upon the death of the owner of that property, if it's your father, if he was alive when you built the 2 rooms, and he didn't do a will saying the proceeds of the 2-room are yours. Upon his death, all of a sudden, in terms of the administration of estate steps, remember, I put together 10 steps, estate administration. The 3rd step is you must open an estate late account. Once you've reported the estate, you've got the letter of executorship, you must open what is called an estate late account where all money is due to a deceased person go here. So the proceeds of this 2-room that you're paying, the school fees and the lunch box for your kids is going to the estate late account to be distributed to all of us one day. Remember, an estate administration process takes 18 months? It's going.
Firstborn syndrome.
What is this lady?
Zola, as I'm listening to you.
Sorry. I'll come back to you. I'm expressing this purposefully because I know that that's the expression of someone in that situation.
Yes, it's like that. As I'm listening to you, I fully understand the importance of will in the Black community. Like I get it so much. And now that I'm thinking, I'm in a blended family, and as much as I can say my stepdaughter is sweet or my stepson is sweet, reality is reality, and we
can go to the master's office.
Like we can be blindfolded or our reality is there. Let's say in my case, I come with 2 kids. My husband comes with 2, and we've got 2 together. What can we do in terms of legal things? Like
I was
someone
gonna
out
say
there, like
before we finish here, that the next stop after this is the Letsoalo family. That's where I'm going.
Because I think most people are scared to blend. Most people are scared to commit because they have kids.
Yeah.
Now they ask themselves, "What way irahalang?" And we've seen most cases where the husband married the long lost kids, child's daughter to like. How can I balance it nicely?
Yeah.
I don't want to be selfish and I don't want to move away from love as well. Like now, how do I introduce her? You know, Mara baby, I want to put my kids here. It's like you don't want mine. And I said, how can this be introduced nicely into blended?
So look, I genuinely believe, and I can't believe I've never said this to you before, but it's taking into consideration that I was a guest speaker at your event, which was a fantastic event, by the way, girl. You really cannot be in a blended family and not do estate planning. You can't leave it to love and chance only. In as much as the recognition of Customary Marriages Act says, if you're going to enter a polygamous marriage, each time you add a new wife, go to court and regulate what happens when you die or divorce. Blended family is the same. If you come with kids,
I think.
Yeah, if you're coming with kids, your partner's coming with kids, you must definitely do a will. Your partner must have his will, you must have a will. Once you start having your own children, you must have a revised will. You literally have to revise your will as and when you have children, when you are in any family. But in a blended family.
Yes, and you spoke about trust as well.
Yeah. So I would then say, in this instance, the best thing, and obviously finances taken into consideration. It would have been best if, say, your man, and I always say this to women. If you're a woman, and you have kids, you're a single mother, and you are uyabona ukuthi okay sengiyathanda la, nami futhi ngiyathandwa. This is headed to a lobola letter. Please make sure you register a family trust in your name or in the name of your children. All right.
This is before you get married.
Before the lobola letter comes.
Okay.
This is when you can see. This is even before you enter a relationship. But if you've missed that window,
it's not too late.
Once you can see, Lindo Diang Tanda Nam Nyai soon he's gonna bring a letter to my family.
Sure.
You make sure you register a family trust and you transfer the assets, and more importantly, a house. And I said this in Durban at an event where I was speaking. When you're building this house, your energy, your petrol is your child. Even when you're lazy to get up, you look at your child like, umtanam, you get up. Now, you can't take a house you build using the spirits and the lights and the push of your child and go and build a marriage with it. Don't build new marriages with old assets. Don't do that, because that's where you succumb to being victimized and your estate is targeted because someone you are like I went to speak at Charlotte McClegg with the MEC of Health. She was also at that event. And I said to the nurses, you guys are now all of a sudden the butt of all jokes. Everyone thinks it's funny. Oh, as a man, hey, I haven't made anything with myself. What's in London? And because what these men do, because I have to be fair, so I'll go into what the women do as well. But I'm starting with the men because, hey, firstborn daughters. And these men will marry bazoglobola. After you've met the 3 requirements, he knows you are incommensurable property. And they will love bomb you. They will love bomb you. King Tulu. They will love bomb these ladies as well. So much so that you feel like you are being disobedient when you say, let's do an anti-nuptial contract.
You know what?
So you want to fall in love into this community of incommensurable property marriage. Now, what then happens is, as soon as Betreto to meet these 3 requirements, these men also, because they're cruel, they leave you. They leave you in your house. They don't even disturb you and your children. They go stay with the woman they love. Because now you're stuck. If you divorce him today, half your house and your pension goes to him. So now what the nurses mistakenly, and all women mistakenly do, is they carry on building assets for this man. And when they die, he comes, shame, with his 10 children. He comes for that pension. He comes for that house. He kicks your children out because they're going to disturb his children. So it's very important to plan your estate before you marry. But now that you are already in the blended family, I really will be coming to Mma Letsoalo. I'm coming to your home. Ngothando, nenhlonipho, and peace and law.
Sure.
I'm coming to explain to you guys that if you don't have a family trust, you as a mom, dad must have a family trust for his kids that he had before.
Yeah.
And then you guys can have a marriage family trust, which will become the parenting trust that gives some money to these kids, because just because they were born before your marriage doesn't mean they must be holistically excluded from the financial benefits of your marriage.
So if I haven't done it before and we are now already
Inside.
blended,
Yeah.
what's wrong with doing one trust for all 6 of them?
I know I wouldn't, as a professional and someone who's been
Without
doing this for 30 years, because
that
all of a sudden the dispute that we said is generational over family homes
Yes,
is
it's
inside
it's
your
going
trust.
to go.
Yeah. Then the stepdaughter starts. You see the behavior, and I saw when I mentioned this, Mma Letsoalo was like, I saw her face change when you mentioned it. When I said, yeah, that's why she even faced me. Zola, I hear you and your law, but there's a change that stepchildren take.
Yeah.
Depending on the parent that dies first.
Nice.
There's a change they take that is almost similar to the side chick's change when the man is gone.
Yeah.
They all of a sudden become vicious towards your children
Yeah.
because your children had the benefit of being the marriage
Yeah.
children their whole lives. So you must
And so they've
protect
got,
your children
they've
from
got
that.
hidden wounds that they
that's
never confront,
Yes.
and then they play out.
And also influence, I must say.
Yes.
By
Also
the other families, by the other
you have
parents.
passed away, all of a sudden, a partner is not the primary guardian anymore.
Yes, we take it back.
Then they take the child back home and then they start influencing. That estate is yours.
Yeah.
Yours, your man. And then the devil, it's a lot. So you can't only rely on the good things that God gives us. You must also rely on the
on
law.
the reality
And so
as
estate
well.
planning as a blended family is important. Estate planning as a firstborn daughter who is taking care of 3 families. Your family where you were born, the family where you are married into, and the families of your siblings.
Yeah.
Ooh, you must do estate planning because all these 3 categories of families are all of a sudden entitled to your pension because you have given them proof.
You've got
And they take away that pension from the children. You were ignoring your children while you were alive because you were busy focusing on your family. And now,
they're
even
gonna
in
take
your
care of my
death,
children,
that family takes the pension away from your children.
and they're not gonna take care of my children.
And they're not going to take care. They're going to say their children has a father, but they're taking from you because they used to taking from you from the age of 18. We say a legacy,
5.
age of 5. No.
They took your sweet
To give to the
your
young
mouth.
child.
They took your sweet out of your mouth.
In fact, they started by taking the boob. You must now get off the boob.
There we go.
But yeah, you were saying a legacy is what your behavior. And so from a legal perspective, an estate are the decisions you make from the day you turn 18.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because those are the only legally binding decisions. Unless you were a trust fund baby
Yeah.
and you were born rich already, then it's from there.
So my account, Mr. Price, becomes part of my estate.
Sure.
When
so-
the one I took at first year varsity.
Yo, that one even ruins your credit score. That one.
The one that
I had a Mr. Price one.
When
You
need to
too.
buy a car, when you need to buy a car, they tell you
You had an account you didn't pay because you're a student.
like, what? I was young though. That forms part of your estate.
100%. It
Here's
actually forms part of
something-
your credit life.
Here's something that, and I don't want to forget this thing about trust.
Yeah.
Actually, let me say that before I forget it. Living trusts.
Yeah.
Living family trusts.
Yeah.
You said this one time that there are there are men that are coming to you and are saying, "Ngicela ungivulele trust
Yeah.
for me."
Mhm.
But the wives don't know.
Yeah. So it's 2 parts.
Yeah.
I want to start with the one that I'm particularly proud of.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of his actions, but I'm proud of his estate planning. I mean, hey, professional courtesy.
Okay.
So the man is married
Mm.
and yet he has girlfriends.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he has kids with these girlfriends.
Yeah.
So what he then came to ask me was, can I do a trust just for the
Outside children.
outside
Okay.
so that they don't come and fight his wife and his children? Then he said, please do a trust for my wife and my kids. Yes. We don't like that he created that, but we like that he rectified it.
Because it would have been chaos.
Because do you see this thing about infidelity, né? It causes pain while you're alive as a man, and then it causes 10 times more pain when you're no more. Yeah. So he has minimized the pain after he has. He's smart. So I'm happy with that. Now, because that's what they say. These people, I don't want to do a will because I must now exclude my children that are not in the marriage. My wife is going to see the will. That's another reason why they're not doing wills, because of the infidelity. So Lento Yokjola, it really does cause generational mess. Yeah. But now let's go to your question. I'm saying in that I love that you quote my it's sisterhood of support. Yeah. I was saying in that instance, men will come to me. A lot of it's more men than women that come to talk about trust. Yeah. So, but they will come to me, and then the trust has the following roles. A founder. Yes. This is the person who owns the trust. Okay. They are the boss. Trustees. These are your executives, senior managers. Okay. And then beneficiaries. This is your recipients, your staff. Yeah. Now, the founder has the ability to amend his trust. In other words, he can fire the trustee.
Without the trustee. Oh, Lord Jesus.
He can fire the trustee, right? So with or without, it's his trust. Yeah.
If the husband is a founder and the wife is one of the trustees,
that's what they would do, of course. That's scenario number one. They will be the founder and ask me to make the wife a trustee only because the founder can amend his trust. Okay?
I mean, trustee sounds like a good deal.
No, it's not for
when
women.
You don't know.
Yeah, when you don't know. Yeah, when you don't know exactly, you're like, pay against trustee. Yes, see, once you start going against his objectives and his motives and his reasons for being, once you start being a contravention to his plans, you are out. So, parasikolap. So that's scenario number one. The man will be a founder. He will be a trustee as well, and then him and his wife will be trustees together. Yes, and then the children and the wife and the man will be beneficiaries, right? Yeah, it's a great trust. But most of them will always then, when I say to them, because you're choosing to be a founder, can you please bring your wife to me? I want her to be a founder of her own trust as well. Sure. And they never mind, and because we can't always shy. We must.
Yeah, no,
give credit where credit is due. I have not met a single man who said no. They've always been happy to bring their wives so their wives can found their own trust. So, and another thing about men is, like women, they're not jealous like women. Look, some are, but from a financial perspective, they don't mind empowering a woman. Yeah. And her own things, and not even involving themselves with what's going on, and keep empowering her. Yeah. But they make sure they build their thing first. Yes. They make sure they build their thing first. Because we can't pour from an empty cup. Sure. Now, women are forcing men and calling them bad names because they are failing to plan for their things. For their own while things. They have a supportive man that can help them plan. They are behaving as if just because a man planned his things and they are married to her, she's forced to inherit from that thing. But meanwhile, I'm saying from the date of marriage, you can build simultaneously different roots. Mom, you have your own trust. Dad, you have your own trust. Why? Because mom has isbeleto, she has the womb. Yes. Every child from her womb will benefit from this trust. And the man, he can plant from 9 wombs in 1 year. Meanwhile, mom can only have 1 child in 1 year. It's important for mom to have her own trust. Let dad have his own, so he does what he wants.
When we buy a house then, where does that, whose trust does that house go to?
The family home.
Okay, yeah, now I
also
No, I'm saying, remember the question you asked me earlier, these 4-room houses, that's the old definition of a family home. But the house your father bought using a bond, that's not a family home in the definition of the reality, right? It's your dad's house. Yeah. Now, your question is, my dad and I'm the child. Yes. Where does my dad put this house if mom and dad both have a trust? Yeah. That's a very good question.
No matter,
it depends on the family.
You said
it depends on what. So you see, that's why I always insist on doing estate planning with both couples present, because I want to drive you to a decision. Sure. And that's the mistake people are making with law. They seem to keep making law make decisions for them. Yeah. You have to make the decision.
With this family home thing.
Yeah. Which one now? The Mkulu one or your dad's one?
They still call it as family home.
No.
But Danny's house.
Yeah.
So here's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
My mkulu's home.
Yeah.
I really could not be bothered about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Until it's renovated.
Actually, my Rahadi renovated it, and it looks amazing. But here's
I
where,
love that.
and I'll share this just to shed a light.
Yeah.
The complication that I observed with her doing that. It's an amazing house. It's a beautiful house.
Okay.
She came back from her marriage and she lived there. She renovated the place. It's now her home. She lives with my grandmother.
Is that a firstborn?
No, she's actually the middle born.
Okay.
Right? Now, we sort of no longer really go to my grandmother's house because it's no longer really my grandmother's house.
It feels like
Is that as a result of the renovation?
Yeah, it's her couches now. It's no longer the grandmother's house.
It's her couches now.
It's her couches now. It's a kitchen unit now.
It's her couches now. I love that.
Carol Boyes now. We can't just break it around. Not that she said we can't.
Yes, but out of respect.
The fiber changes.
the
Right?
atmosphere.
The atmosphere changes. It's her house. And I can imagine that when her father was alive, they had an agreement or whatever the case is. And I guess it will take us back to the family home situation. Or like, and now I can go to that house that she renovated with her couches and I go stay there because it's my grandmother's house and an
Family
event,
home cases, make sure
But
that,
let's leave her alone because my father has built his own house, took us to school, and we're in our 30s and we have money.
Sure.
When he dies, I consider my father's home our family home with my siblings.
Fair. It's really
Right?
fair
Like
to
when
do
I
that.
say
we
home.
can't always revert to Mkulu's home. That's why we fight so much.
Home. Our family home with my siblings. It's my father's home. Because my Rakhadi has her own home. The other Rakhadi has her own home with her own children. So as cousins, all of us sort of have our real family homes.
Division.
But it's still my family home because it's my father's house.
Yeah.
But you are saying it does no longer have the definition of a family home because it's let's say it's a bonded house or it's a house that he built. But from my eyes as a child and my siblings, it's our family home.
It's a family home by virtue of definition.
By
But from
definition.
a legal perspective, this defined family home in that case is Mkulu's home, the 4-room houses.
So if my father is no longer here, does that then mean that case law falls away? Because by definition, that's not it.
Well, what it means is if your father who has bought what they used to call stock homes, I can't remember the exact term, stock or bond houses.
Bond houses.
Yeah, that's what they used to call them. Bond
Yes,
houses.
Lady Subsea.
Yeah, it's not the permit house. So for the purposes of this case, it doesn't. But in relation to the distribution though, interstate succession works the same, whether it's Mkulu's house or dad's house. Which brings me to your Rakhadi. You guys may respect her now, but when Gogo passes away and Gogo's estate must be done, the house will be transferred from Mkulu to Gogo in full share. Because Gogo was the old spouse and the value then was low. And then, because
Yes.
so if value, say estate Mkulu yenzi, which is is the case most of the time. Then
Because
when
it's in the
Gogo
villages,
passes away,
you don't think about it.
yeah, when Gogo passes away, we now have to start with Mkulu transferring the half share to Gogo, right? Now we're fine. Now from Gogo, how many children does Gogo have?
3.
Exactly. All those 3 are entitled to the value of Gogo's date of death. And Gogo's going to pass away with the house renovated.
Damn.
You understand? So that getting along and kumbaya must carry on when Gogo passes away. But from experience, must carry on the love. But from experience, there is a trigger. Megushona imbewu. Bekuthiwa yawa le mbewu. When a key member of the family dies, it's like Satan is released into the hearts of people.
And remember, I mentioned a very subtle but very powerful thing that asisaya kokoko.
Yeah.
That by itself
You
is
still recognize it.
multi-layered.
Yeah.
No, it also says that there are probably things that are a snake that's sitting under the carpet. That's waiting for the day it's convenient to come and strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Data's basically
yes,
saying that.
because
Exactly.
let me be honest. When we're saying asaya kokoko, there also could be, I don't know how my cousins feel, but there probably is a level of bitterness somewhere.
about it.
That she
You've
took over-
deprived us
she's
of our
took over
family
our-
home.
The place where we all were raised.
Ngizoshaya umthetho manje
So
khona.
kushaya wena umthetho in indlu yakho now, and I guess we respect that. I guess until a time we no longer do.
That resentment is always hidden. And I guess mengithi mina kukhona uSathane release ukufa.
Yes.
It's that hidden
Yeah.
resentment.
Resentment.
Yeah, that is the little Satan, Lord. That's why we must pray against
Need
it
wills.
as a country.
Yeah.
We really must pray against this usatane way hidden resentments.
Yes.
Because what then happens is when the death happens,
Yeah.
the families are ending.
Yes.
Death is only supposed to end one life.
Yes. No,
But
it's
it's
not
It
multiple.
will end a family.
It ends multiple lives.
Powerful thing.
And I think it filters back to things like family secrets.
Yeah. Like that gentleman who shot his
Favoritism.
nephew and himself.
I wonder if we still have time to go into that, because that was a very painful one.
It hurts all of us. We don't even know who we're hurting for. We know we're hurting for the 18-year-old.
I got hurt only after you explained it to me. Horror, why? What the
How he
motive
got
might
pushed there.
have been. How it got to, because at the surface you may think, oh, it's a man that
Selfish.
found out that he's not fathering the child he thought he fathers, and then he got angry and had a gun and he shot people. But when you explained it to me, it took me back to my bias
Yeah.
of the real truth behind why people do things, the real truth of actions,
Yeah.
and back to favoritism.
Yeah.
Because how you were explaining to me was they didn't think that the person who had the wealth that he
Deserves it.
deserved,
Yeah.
they didn't think he deserves
Yeah,
it. And so they garnered a way of getting back the wealth to the person they think deserves the
Firstborn
wealth.
son.
Favorite.
Because he's the last born. Why is he the successful one? I mean, to a point, I actually like that you brought that up. Sometimes nogisho into iphinde iphume engqondweni.
Yeah.
Because basically, if you interpret it from an estate perspective,
Yeah.
the succession here is happening with the guy who shot himself. He's made an income, he's made a pension, he's made an estate. On top of doing all of that, he has now also made a child, which means his child will inherit this estate and his child will have a child. And then he gets to inherit that estate and whatever the estate that the dad added. So it was going to be generational estate transfer. But now they've deprived him of that opportunity by hiding the fact that his brother is the father of this child, which means his estate, if they had carried on hiding it and he didn't lose his mind and shoot people, and he had just passed away naturally, his estate was going back to his parents, back to the older. And that is a hurtful thing for a man to realize with the barrel of a gun facing him.
Yes.
uNkulunkulu ngathi angathela umusa kuleya ndawo. Yeah.
Because you know what? You changed it for me when you explained it. This estate still goes back to where it was meant to
Where
be.
they wanted where the family
The
wanted
devil
it.
won.
Yeah.
And like in that situation,
Even now, as he has passed away, it is gonna go. Yeah, it's back. If it's not gonna go to a child, because I'm not sure if the baby I don't think the baby he shot is his. Because one article said it's his sister's, but another one said it might be his. So there's a bit of a contradiction there. But basically, even if he had passed away with his brother's kid, in other words, the kid that was supposed to be him, the estates, remember, interstate. In the absence of a wife and a child, it goes to the mother. And the mother does what with it? She can give it back to her firstborn son. So, and then that's the thing about mothers, guys. There's nothing as powerful as what we say because of its bellet. And if we say, it's my firstborn son that's going to be successful, all of a sudden it's the other one that's successful. Your bitterness. I'm not saying that's what happened with this woman. It seems really, but we see it happening. Because she's so adamant, she's put it out there. Now it needs to happen. Because she has put it out. She spoke over someone she gave birth to. This is my firstborn is the one who's gonna be Mujalifa. And now by force and by fire, the estate is reverting back to Mujalifa, whether he worked or not for it.
Sure. And what I'm hearing you say is that it could also just be like a spiritual force.
Yeah. That's what I'm
That was
saying.
at work.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's actually exactly what I'm saying.
Sure.
That's the power of being the womb carrier. It's not just a glorified thing. Hey, the firstborn belongs to me. There are so many responsibilities that are generational. You know the saying, which I think is how, the West beats Africa.
Yeah.
Beat the mother, you will get the child.
Yes.
When you're training horses, they fleck the mare. I don't know if the term is mare or what, but for the female horse, straighten out the female horse in the presence of her children. You will not have to beat the children. They will toe the line and follow the mother. That's how powerful a mother is. Because uyinzala bantu.
Oh, yeah.
And once she has zalad labantu, they must follow. As my mom always says, ifana nenkalankala, it's hi, hamba uqonde. And the baby crab says, but mom, you going to the side. This is why I'm also going to walk to the side. It's not what we say. It's what we are doing that they are following.
Sure.
Oh, mother.
That's powerful.
Yeah, that's how powerful mothers are. We mustn't take that for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't want to forget anything important that we should have covered in this conversation.
Look, I think the one thing when we were together that, seemed so important to you was, how did African people in South Africa, because we in South Africa, we use South Africa as an example, get regulated by a Roman and a Dutch lands laws?
Yeah.
What was regulating these African people before? If we watch Shagai Lamp,
Yes.
there's no Roman, the only Roman Dutch people there are the ones coming to steal the cattle.
Yes.
And everything else.
Yeah.
There's no court there. There's no act, lapaya. So in terms, and I complained about this when I was with Uputu David Mashabela.
Yeah.
I genuinely, guys, feel that our cultural leaders are relaxed.
Yes.
They are not standing up for our law. Now, Africans were regulated by their chiefs.
Okay.
They had their own customs. Most of the laws for Africans has always been in their culture.
Yeah.
Our culture says this. Uyahlaba, awuhlabi. You slaughter, you don't slaughter. Then Western started coming in with new laws, SPCA, animal rights. And then they started coming with the churches. It's barbaric.
Yes.
Yes. So it was diluted. Our culture was under attack. Our cultural leaders didn't stand up tall enough
And they still
to defend our culture. To date, the recognition of a Customary Marriage Act is a blotched act.
Yes.
That's why we're seeing what's happening with DT Mabuza.
By the way, what are women saying about this new Customary Act?
I want to hear from you.
I'll tell you right now.
What are you
And they were like, yeah. And so in closing about our culture versus our law.
Yeah.
I was a keynote speaker at an event. I just I won't name the fund, but it was one of the NPCs, NPO, NGOs.
Yes.
And they asked me to come speak about culture versus law.
Okay.
And I used a lot of examples, but obviously the main one was the Recognition of Customary Marriages Act and the lack of representation, the fact that to regulate it, we have to borrow from the Marriage Act. To end it, we must borrow from the Divorce Act. So it's not enough on its own. And so to make decisions for culture, for African people, it used to be chiefs that would make those decisions. And depending on the offense, the punishment would be inhlawulo, damages. You give your cow to this family, even in death, even if your son has killed someone else's son, you apologize with cattle. So all of that, it's disappeared. We are, as Africans, living an African life just because Roman Dutch law came to South Africa doesn't mean we have abandoned our customs. Sisashisimpepo, sasaba, sama Zulu, sama Pedi, sama Xhosa, sama Tswana, sama Venda, sama, Tonga. We are still cultural abantu. That's what we are called. Sabantu. So the clash between Western law and our customs can only be fixed, definitely not by the Constitution of South Africa, which is called the greatest constitution in the world, but lacks the appreciation and representation of what these African people are. But it's fair. What the Constitution has done is it has brought fairness in this imposition of Western laws to our cultures. The Constitution at least says, whoa, you're forcing the culture too much. Take it easy. And that's why I respect the Constitution. So that's that.
Yeah.
What's that you wanted to know about the
What are women?
this new marriage bill?
So before we go to the marriage bill and we close it, there's now, in support of what you're saying,
Yeah.
there's now the act that says, hey, my husband can take my surname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And it's going there where you're saying the culture versus
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something that I thought through, and I thought it could only make sense in that way.
Yeah.
And someone may not agree that because men take us in a bit of messy situations of their own identity, right?
Their own surnames are messy.
Their surnames are messy. Would that not be a feasible thing for us to say between me and you? You don't know who your father is. You are, as a husband, giving me a name you know nothing about.
So, okay.
I know mine. Can we rather than have you take mine?
So are you saying you are in support of this constitutional court judgment?
Only for me, when I
That's
was
how it makes sense to you.
The only way it made sense to me was if that was a conversation a man and a husband and a wife were comfortable to have and agreed with it.
Yeah.
But I want us to go to what women are saying about the new Customary Act.
All right. So an act, before it becomes an act, is a bill.
Yeah.
So currently it's called the New Marriage Bill of 2023.
And what is it saying?
It is saying a lot of things. It's saying it's going to amalgamate and put together all of the marriage acts in South Africa.
Okay.
Recognition of Customary Marriages Act,
Yeah.
Civil Marriages Act, and what was the other one? I can't remember the other one now because Senkabanga is cast.
So customary.
So it's putting them together because Hindu marriages are not represented, and then there's no strict regulation of polygamous marriages. Women are getting the raw end of the stick, like we spoke earlier. So now this act is saying, in relation to a customary marriage, you must register it. It will no longer be recognized if you haven't registered it. Once this act comes into place, it says, A, you must register an existing marriage.
Okay.
And an existing customary marriage. Because remember, the civil marriage is already registered.
Yeah.
It's already a condition.
Yes.
So it's saying, even a customary marriage now must be registered at Home Affairs, number one, which is good because it will fix the whole discrepancy between our cultures, your culture, my culture, and all that.
Yeah.
It then also says in relation to polygamous marriages, unless there is written consent from the existing wives,
Yeah.
that added wife will not be recognized. She'll just be a side chick or locholi with no legal rights. The wives,
Yeah.
and then the third, which is the one you are NC for, is if you are in a customary marriage, in other words,
Yes.
those three conditions I explained.
Yes.
Now you know you're married in common property. People have started accepting it because we've been making noise about it. Sister-in-law has been